All right, guys, today we are going to move on to calculating simple probability, which is part of theoretical probability. There's theoretical probability and there's experimental probability. Um, Basically, it is kind of what it says it is. Theoretical is, in theory, what would happen, and experimental probability would be what happens when you actually do an experiment, okay? So simple probability here is part of theoretical. Actually, I'm going to write that down. Just so make that clear. Theoretical. Okay? All right. So, probability is written as a ratio in fraction form. If you remember from actually last semester when we did ratios, we wrote them in a few different ways. One would be like, say, 2 to 3 with a colon, or 2 to 3 would be, or 2 over 3. We are going to be using this form, okay? Fraction form. All right. So basically what you do, your fraction is the number of favorable outcomes or what you want to happen over the total number of possible outcomes when you do an experiment, okay? So the sample space is a list of all possible outcomes. For instance, a deck of cards has a sample space of 52 because if you're going to draw a card from that, there are 52 different cards you could get, so the sample space is 52. Six-sided dice, or actually, I should put die, D-I-E, that is the singular form of that word, is the sample space is 6 because there are 6 sides. There's 6 total outcomes you could get by rolling the dice. D20 dice, there's 20 sides, so therefore the sample space is 20. A coin, like a quarter or a dime, the sample space is 2 because there are 2 sides, okay? If there, another thing could be like 20 Skittles, the sample space would be 20. A spinner, like a 6-section spinner, again, the sample space is 6 because there are 6 possibilities that the spinner could land on. Okay, and so then you have an event. An event is a collection of one or more outcomes in the sample space. So if the sample space is a list of all possible outcomes, an event is you're looking for a specific thing that's going to happen, okay? So a specific thing that could happen is the probability of rolling a 1 or a 5 using a 6-sided dice. And I keep doing that, it should be D-I-E. 6-sided die, okay? All right, so, and let's figure that out. Okay, and another way you're gonna see this written is you'll see P, which means probability, parentheses 1 or 5. Okay, of a 6-sided die. That's how you'll see probability written. So it'll be P parentheses 1 or 5. So a 1 or a 5, that's 2 options out of 6. So literally I write it as 2 over 6. Okay, or I can simplify 2/6, and the 2/6 simplifies to 1/3. It's hard to say. Okay. But you can leave it as 2/6. If I can say the word sixth, I can't get it, whatever. Anyway, so basically you have a possibility of 1 or 5. That gives you 2. Those are 2 numbers you could get out of a total of 6, okay? So another one we could do, let's say, let's do a deck of cards, okay? A standard deck of cards. What is the probability, so deck of cards, okay? What is the probability, P, of drawing a, let's see here, ace or 2, okay? Well, we have to figure out, we know that our sample space is 52, so it's going to be something over 52, right? But we have to figure out how many aces are in the deck and also how many 2s, okay? Well, you know there's 4 suits, therefore there's 4 aces, and there's also going to be 4 2s. And so 4 aces plus 4 2s is going to be 8. 8 over 52. And that is the probability. Yes, you can simplify that to 4 over 26, or rather 2 over 13, but we can also leave it as 8 over 52. Okay, so I'm going to give you another type of probability here. Let's be example 3. I'm going to draw a spinner on the board. And here's what I mean by that if you don't recall that off the top of your head. So say I have a spinner like this, and I'm going to split it into this many. This is what I mean by a spinner. I've got my little thing. You spin the arrow and it will land on something. And so I'm going to have A, B, A, C, C, B, A, D. Okay? And say I asked you, what is the probability of, so this is number what, 3 or 4? I can't remember. This is just like class. I can't remember what number we're doing. Okay, we'll say this is number 4. Yeah, it's 4. Okay, and I asked you, what is the probability of spinning an A? Okay. Well, what we have to do is, the probability of A, we have to count how many A's there are here and how many total possibilities there are. Well, if we count possibilities, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to be out of 8. We know that. Okay. And how many A's are there? There are 1, 2, 3. So the possibility of spinning an A is 3 over 8. Okay. And then let's do another one. So say I had asked you this question. What is the probability of not spinning a C? Okay, so probability of not getting a C, not C. So that means every other option there. So we have 2 C's, so that means there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's a 6 out of 8 chance of spinning something other than a C. Okay. All right, that's pretty much it for today. Your practice will be something similar to this, where you will be asked to calculate the simple probability and write it as a fraction.